kind of got sort of this.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Greg, Commissioner, I guess. Today. Commissioners, good morning. It's the first step to reconvene and adjourn the meeting November the 30th, but I did adjourn that on that day. So there is no business to be transacted out of that particular meeting. This time I would like to call to order and ask for the roll call for the December the 7th, 2023 Jefferson County Commission meeting.
Commissioner Bowden.
Present.
Commissioner Knight.
There.
Commissioner Scales. Commissioner Tyson. Commissioner Stevens.
I'm here. Thank you very, very much. Invocation today is from Commission District 2, Commissioner Tyson. Mike, you want to do that? And following that, let's get Commissioner Tyson to lead us in the pledge.
Dear Father, come before you this morning to conduct the business of Jefferson County. We pray that you guys will go over these commissioners as they seek to do the business of the citizens of Jefferson County. We thank you for this beautiful season that we're in. And we realize that without your son, this season would not be possible. Lord, we hope that the mothers and fathers out there in this county and the state of Alabama and around the world understand that the reason for the season is your son Jesus. And we know that no greater sacrifice, no greater intent was meant than when you put your son among your people to provide forgiveness for all our sins. These are the most blessings we ask in our son Jesus' name. Amen.
Salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, you received our commission meeting minutes from our mini clerk for November the 30th, 2023. Has everyone had a chance to review those? If you have, Chair would entertain a motion to dispense with reading.
Move to dispense the reading of the minutes and adopt as written.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Thank you very much. There are no presentations today. Let's go directly into our public hearings. We have 2 public hearings, 3 public hearings, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 public hearings. Mark, you've been busy.
Yes, sir. We would say that.
Let's begin with case Z230018.
This is the case Z-23-0010. This property is out in Forest County. 1-8?
Are we doing 1-0? That was a carryover.
That
was a carryover, that's right.
Okay, if not, it wasn't on the agenda, but we can do that.
It's the second one on
Second one on the, okay, I'm sorry.
It's on the agenda, it's the second one.
Okay.
Let's do the first one, like.
We can start there. We can start late, sorry about that. I didn't realize that it was,
Start over.
it was not a word like that. This is case number 18. This is out of Charles Hamilton Road, out in the McCall area. This is a request for a subdivision to consist of 134 residential lots. This particular subdivision is proposed to be served by an on-site sanitary sewer system, not the Jefferson County sewer system. It does comply with policy. The land use plan for the area was called with expects growth for this particular section. However, again, that growth is also based on appropriate infrastructure being put in place as development happens. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of this with conditions. One, that the development be limited to a density of 2.08 units per acre, that the private package plant septic lines be located outside the public right of way, a 25-foot undisturbed buffer should be maintained from the shore of any tributary on the property, and a 25-foot buffer be maintained along the entirety of the property to mitigate the effects of the difference of densities between the RG and A1 zoning that would be adjacent to it. In addition to that, it also will ask for an 8-foot privacy fence be installed along the rear of lots 103 to 121, which will be along here on this side, this northeastern side of the property. Again, that's the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation. There was some opposition at the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing who had concerns about traffic as well as the effect on the environment with the on-site septic system. And that's the main of this particular case.
Thank you. This time, I'd like to open a public hearing for case Z230018. There have been two people who wish to address the commission, one for and one against. Let's begin with the for, and see where we are. Wade Lowry. You stand up, give your name, your address, and you state your case.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Commissioner. My name is Wade Lowry. With Engineering Design Group, we are the project's land surveyor and civil engineer of record. My address is 120 Bishop Circle in Pelican. And I wrote my name down out there on the sheet just in case it was a formality should I need to speak. But obviously, our firm has provided services thus far for the development. We provided an investigation of the site, coordinated with another consulting engineer who is on our team for that on-site wastewater treatment facility. We discussed concerns at the Planning Commission meeting, and our client is perfectly willing to work with those conditions. Have no objection to any of those. If there are any questions that come up of a technical nature about the project, I'm happy to address.
First question, is it 132 units or 134?
I believe the lot count total is 134.
Okay. How many acres is your sanitary sewer going to be?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How many acres will it take to do this on-site sanitary sewer, which causes much consternation to me?
Yes, sir. So the on-site system has not been formally designed yet. We do know that the soil is right for the type of system that would serve the community. We've reserved plenty of room within the site to hold and contain that system. Should the project move forward to approval, a full design of that system would be submitted for review by the county health department and others before anything would be approved.
What would be an acreage required in order to service 134 units?
Probably of the site, you would probably be looking at 3 to 4 acres of ground that would serve those in a system like that.
Yeah. Is this near a tributary?
There are, if you have a copy of our current layout plan.
I do.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, I didn't realize we're up here.
Did
So
you get an aerial view, Michael? The aerial view? Yeah.
yes, sir. So the aerial view you see here is from the hydrology you see here is most likely from USGS data, and there are waters of the U.S. right there that have been identified by a consultant on the team. Can I go back to the layout view and I can show you a little bit more detail on that?
Yeah, I want you to show where the on-site
Yes, sir.
sewer will be.
Yes, sir, okay. So in the previous photograph, you could see that there were in fact two lines, blue lines there, and there was one here. So we have had those delineated by a professional and classified as ephemeral and intermittent streams. So the pieces of those streams that you see, the light blue and then the darker blue here, and then down here, are being avoided. We would not be impacting those streams whatsoever. You'll see a little bit of impact here in this brown shaded stream with a stormwater mitigation pond. That portion of the stream is an ephemeral type, which is not under the jurisdiction of the Corps of Engineers. So this kind of leads back to the condition of leaving a 25-foot buffer along any stream on the site, which is a requirement that we would adhere to anyway. That is a requirement of ADEM, the state of Alabama. So what we've done is avoided those jurisdictional waters here and here. There's another small piece of jurisdictional water there, which we are avoiding as well. Now, was that your question, sir?
Yeah, but now where are you gonna move your sewer system on that?
So more than likely, it will be split into different locations. Probably in an area here and here. You know, we know that the land, how do I say this, percolates properly and will take the water that's generated by an on-site package plant. The exact location of that plant has not been determined as of yet, but you know, the configuration of maybe the lots might change. It might need to sit right there, or maybe even there. We don't know exactly where it'll be at this point, but like I said, should the project be approved and move forward, all of that would go into design.
Have you considered getting on the Jefferson County sewer system?
Yes, sir, we have looked at that, and the distance of existing county infrastructure is far enough away that it does not make, it's not able to be extended to the site.
How far away is
I knew you'd ask that question. I don't have
it?
the-
engineer.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. It's been a while since we looked at that and all but ruled that out, which is why we went down the path of consideration of an on-site system.
Now, you've got 100, and I read somewhere, I think you got 2 units per acre. Is that what, two housing units per acre?
Yes, sir, I think the density as stipulated in the condition is 2.08 units per acre.
And you've got 60, how many acres? 63.
Yes, sir, somewhere around there, that's right.
And I don't know if I'm doing this right, but 134 lots. Okay. Never mind. All right, let's,
Have you thought about putting the, or can you, put your, private system under the power lines?
Well, that is definitely a possibility. We, you know, our firm has developed a lot of projects like this in the metro area, and we deal with a lot of transmission right of way with Alabama Power. They generally will allow a road to pass. As you see, we have 2 roads passing through their right of way right there, but it remains to be seen if they would want infrastructure like what we're talking about of an on-site system within their right of way. So conservatively, we would want to avoid their right of way.
3-4 years down the road, this project, if approved, gets built out,
Yes, sir.
it's turned over to the HOA. The HOA will be responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of that particular sewer treatment.
Well, there's two answers to your question.
I just need a yes or a no.
No, sir.
I want to hear both ends.
If you say no,
That's right. Yes, sir.
So who is going to be responsible
So,
besides us?
yes, sir.
No.
Some years ago, it was, a rule was adopted by the state of Alabama, which requires a Public Service Commission verified entity to be retained to maintain a system like that. So the HOA pays part of their utility bills is the monthly fee that would go to that third-party maintenance entity and a sewer bill to Jefferson County as well. So while it is true that the HOA is in contract with a third-party maintenance entity that is a 24-hour on-call service, you know, you don't have a homeowner going to a hardware store to pull a pump off a shelf to replace a pump at their house if there was one, or the plant maintenance. That is all performed by professionals that are vetted and approved through the Public Service Commission.
I've been through many, many of these hearings over the past 13 years.
Yes, sir.
I've never heard that explanation. Have you? And I've never seen it actually implemented. So can you give us examples?
You're saying
Who has that?
are you saying each household has a pump that they pump to the site?
No, sir. We, at this point, we do not know that that would be the case. The ideal situation would be that each house would have a typical gravity line that would flow to a gravity main street similar to the county's infrastructure, sewer infrastructure, that would all flow to an on-site package plant, right? Now, elevations may require that some of these homes might have a pump with a force main that got it to that package plant. But we have, I would estimate that throughout the metro area, my firm has designed, 10 to 15 subdivisions that have alternative systems like this.
Such as?
There's,
Recently?
yes, sir, Creekview in Helena. I'm trying to think of one that we might have done. Brookside Square is a project that was approved through Jefferson County last year, but was then annexed into the town of Brookside. It has a package treatment plant on it and has been constructed in the last 6 months.
How many houses did that serve?
Ultimate build out on that project is approximately 180 lots.
Remember that. So, all right, any other questions for the gentleman?
So if we approve this and they start having problems, just say down the road with the homeowners association, and they are not able to fix, have too much, it's too expensive. They're gonna look for us to do this work right.
Look, someone,
Like all the other subdivisions with the where they hadn't finished paving the roads there and flooding and all of this in these little lakes that they, duck ponds that they choose to have in their, little, private community that they have. They want the taxpayers' dollars to subsidize and fix this stuff for them. That's the way I'm looking at it.
well, when you look at it and you figure it's kind of like the road, when there's not enough money, for a developer that they lost the ability to keep up the road, that falls back on us.
We had to fix several of them.
And we've had to fix 93 of them, or we're in the process of fixing 93. You're shaking your head no.
As a result of all the 40, 50 that we did have to approve, now we have regulations in place that require a proper bond and we do the proper inspections, so we don't have that concern about the roads.
I understand, but I'm talking about not what it will be, what has happened. So
And
we
the
did
sewer
accept it soon.
If the septic system package plant failed, we not be the code.
Yes. Well, you don't want to create a burden on the residents at all. You know, just because we do not have primary responsibility card doesn't mean that we need to shift it off. With the residents that possibly would come in there, you do not want to put any burden on them either. Have you looked at a low pressure line, going to connect to the sewer?
Well,
That would be
actually-
less expensive than what the county would do.
Actually, so my friend here gave me a
Your
schematic
friend,
of, I'm sorry,
Who's your friend?
I'm sorry, I don't know your name, Josh. Josh.
Josh, stand up and introduce yourself.
Josh Johnson, Director of Development Services.
Director of Development Services, Jefferson County.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. So, right now, the existing sewer infrastructure of the county is a little over 2,500 feet away from the site. So economically, because the county's infrastructure isn't available to the site, it is economically viable for an on-site package plant. And, you know, again, these things are, you know, I can't stand here and tell you that something bad in the future couldn't happen. Can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't be professional. But our firm has experience with these type systems all over the county and metro area where they're properly funded. You know, like I say, the utility bill for each home contains monthly funding by each resident to support the system. And generally, we've seen success in them in other places.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you. Anything else? Any other commissioner wish to speak? Thank you very much.
No, yes, thank you.
We also had, Pat Gamble speaking against this. Good morning, Ms. Gamble.
Morning, everybody. My name is Patricia Gamble, I live at 56.
So loud, Pat.
My name is Patricia Gamble, I live at 5671 Charles Hamilton Road. The property backs up to the backside of my farm. We are really concerned about the septic tank problem, which we know that Ross Bridge area, when it first started, had the same type system, but it created problems and had to be replaced and put on sewer. But it is at the bottom part, which is in the watershed part of the property, that feeds into lakes that goes into 5 Mile Creek. And the septic tanks, our community did furnish a environmental impact statement to you that we have done, which covered all the type of septic tank systems and some of the problems and some of the benefits also. But that is one of the problems that the community is concerned with, is the septic tank. And also, we're concerned with the traffic. Right now, the traffic is very heavy on Charles Hamilton Road. And with that additional amount of houses, most of them will have a minimum of 2 vehicles per house. So that would create even more problems for the Charles Hamilton area right through there with the vehicles. And I would like for y'all to consider all the problems that have happened on that road in the past years with wrecks that has occurred. And I would appreciate y'all taking into consideration all of this. Thank you.
Ms. Gamble, let me ask you a question, then ask the other gentleman, what school zone would these?
McInerney. Our school systems are very full right now. Even with the new school, the elementary school, I think they have trailers down there now. And it would overwhelm our system. It would overwhelm a lot of our services within the community.
I guess one of my concerns is that this development seems out of character for the neighbors and what what has gone on in that particular area, I'm very, very familiar with it.
Yes,
And it's A1 area.
correct.
And,
Most of our houses are on acre land, something bigger.
right. So,
And it does create a different type of community if we all just be created. And most of us have lived there in the community for a long period of time, or our relatives have. And it does create it, and it's a concern to all the people that live in the community.
They are sick.
yeah, they're on the septic tank, but
Yes.
each one of these homes are on the septic tank.
Individual
Large.
septic tanks.
And these homes that they're proposing will be on septic tanks also, but it will be a package deal, where everybody would have the same septic tank.
Which will probably be close to a 15,000 gallon tank.
Yeah, and if they do that, they may do a pool where it's a little pond that they do it, but I don't know, there's a lot of questions that need to be
Yes.
answered. Thank you,
Thank you.
Any questions from the commission? Chair, will entertain a motion.
May I clarify a few remarks?
Sure.
Regarding, yes, sir. So, the concerns I just heard were, of traffic, and then, of course, discussion about, that septic system. So, first, traffic. Part of what we've done in preparation for what we're here now talking about is, we commissioned a traffic study of Charles Hamilton Road. So, just for the record and put it out there, currently, Charles Hamilton Road is at a level of service A. Okay? The intersections on either end of Charles Hamilton Road today function at a level of service A or B. Okay?
Define what is encompassed in a level A and a level B.
Yes, sir. It is all about the flow and action of the roads to carry the traveling public. Level of service A being the best, down to level of service F being something that is completely unacceptable, to the traveling public.
And that is based on the traffic density that exists now.
Yes, sir. So a traffic count was performed, and a study was performed by Skipper Consulting, their local firm. Here we work with a lot. So we know the level of service that those roads are functioning at today. And by the time, if this subdivision were fully built out, the level of service of those roads would not be degraded. They would remain the same. So there are improvements needed at the intersections of Highway 11 and Hamilton Road, and the other, the name escapes me, the other intersection at the other end. So again, should the project move forward, those intersections would be improved as part of what we're doing. So I just wanted to speak about the traffic. You're not degrading the level of service of the local roads by traffic of the development. And then, just a clarifying point on the on-site package plant system. In no scenario would there be any kind of pond associated with this on-site system. What you have is it looks like a small building, I guess, probably as wide as from me to where you are, and maybe the width of the room. You know, surrounded and cordoned off from immediate access by the residents. And that treated water, so waste flows into this package plant, and the water coming out of the package plant is, I would say, 9 times out of 10, cleaner than the water that is flowing in the streams that we talked about earlier today. Now, in this scenario, we're looking at field lines that are in the ground, so you don't have some sort of discharge onto the ground from the system. So it is a system that is basically scaled up from an individual's heard the term pond or sludge pond or something, I wanna make sure, in no case would that be an idea.
So you're looking at a septic tank enclosed in a building, I guess that's so you can get in there pretty quickly and pump it out if
Well,
it needs to be pumped?
Yeah, septic tank is not really that's not really a term that's synonymous with what we're talking about. This is a package treatment plant. So take one of the county's infrastructure's, enormous sanitary sewer plants and you shrink it down to serve a single neighborhood. So there's machinery in there, aerators and mixers and all these, and filters and all these things. So yes, there sure would be maintenance required on that through its life. And, positioning that thing where it's easily accessible to those maintainers, that would be a goal. But it's not something where waste comes and sits. It is an active plant that is filtering what comes to it. Yes, sir.
But an active plant, chemicals, filtering, not an automatic, is it? Somebody's gonna have to.
Yes, sir. Its function is relatively automatic. A maintenance personnel would come and check on that facility probably once every 10 days or more frequently if necessary. But chemicals, it's basically air mixing with the waste that goes to it and filters that waste passes through.
Mr. Denner, do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I mean, it's, these small treatment packages themselves, they function relatively well. It really just comes down to the maintenance on them, because again, it's mechanical equipment, they have to be operating, correctly. If they're not operating correctly, then something's gonna go wrong with it. It's, like the county facilities, they wear out in, 10, 20 years, whatever, there's a lot of maintenance required. In addition, one of the questions that I would probably have is, would they have, like remote monitoring on this kind of thing, or just the manual inspection on some periodic?
Yeah, that's a great question about monitoring. In other systems that are like this, in projects we've worked on, there is remote monitoring capability of those. Again, the system is not fully designed yet, but that's remote monitoring of it is absolutely a positive thing that can be done. And again, there are months of design and levels of review that the subdivision itself and items like that package plant have to go through before, a shovel is put in the ground should the project move forward. And you had asked for earlier other developments around as examples that are on an on-site system. Well, I just thought of, Liberty Park, the entirety of Liberty Park, commercial, office, institutional, and residential is on an on-site system, just like what we're proposing here. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Public hearing is now closed. Anyone wish to speak from the dais?
I would like to add, even though if the system failed, or more likely if for some reason 20, 30% of the citizens stop paying in the fund, even though the county does not have to take it over, you are more than likely going to be the ones that get the calls and the screams for the help. So that's kind of more of the reality of the situation. Technically, we don't have to take it over.
Chairman, thank you.
Can we pass this and look at the possibility of maybe, going back to the developer and see if they can work something out with the county to hook up to our system? Because I'm not gonna vote for it here. I'm just not. So, if that's a possibility, And I understand the economics of doing that, but I'm not concerned about the economics of the development. I'm concerned about the people that live in those areas, live around them, and have to deal with the traffic, the potential, other outcomes or something like this, so, I'll move to deny.
We have a motion to deny. Do we have a second?
So,
Second. Motion to deny and second. All in favor of denial? Say aye. Aye. Any in favor? Unanimously denied.
but
We will.
you can come back if you, in a year with this, but you can come back with an alternative recommendation if you wanna consider maybe hooking up with our sewer or maybe reducing your lot size. I digress.
All right. Now we have
Wait, before you move on, can we just clarify that your reason for this is concerned about, public health and safety, is that correct?
correct. Public health and safety, it does not follow the land use plan. So, thank you. Next is 230010, that's a carryover case.
Yes, so this is a request regarding the old Hillview Elementary property in Forestdale. This came to us, back in October. The applicant at the time proposed to do an apartment-style development for seniors. Since then, they have redesigned and want to do duplexes. Again, as we discussed at the pre-commission, I believe it was at the pleasure commission to carry this over for us to advertise for another public hearing on this particular case. Because this was a carryover of a notice to adjacent property owners. We'll be glad to do that for the January 11th meeting.
So what do we need to do with that?
If it was the pleasure of the commission, you could carry it over to next month for us to advertise.
So we carry it over. Have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next one is, 230033, if I'm right. 31.
Yes, sir, this is a simple downzoning. This property contains a church and a parsonage. Currently zoned R2, which is not compliant with county zoning regulations. They're requesting to rezone to institutional 1 floor compliance.
It's kind of like a open public hearing for Z 230031. Anyone in the audience wish to speak to or in opposition to this particular issue? I like the seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Chair will entertain a motion. What, I'm just trying. There was no,
motion to approve.
there was no opposition.
No, there's no opposition.
All right, have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Z, now, all of these cases, there was no opposition that people signed in to speak.
The remainder of the cases didn't have opposition to planning zoning.
Z 230033.
Again, this is another downzoning. There's a legacy C3 zoning on this property. At one point, possibly in the 40s, 50s, this might contain a neighborhood bar or whatever. Currently, the property is vacant. The property owner just wishes to downzone it, but so that all of the property will be A1 zone, just like everything else.
Like a public hearing, Z 230033. Is there anyone in the audience who wish to address this either in favor of or in opposition to? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Move to adopt.
Second.
Have a motion, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Z 230034, Green Lantern Restaurant and Lounge. It looks like they're going to close during.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The plan for the development of this property
Z230034.
I'm the applicant. I'm the applicant.
You're the applicant.
If you got any questions.
No, you're not gonna bingo down there.
I'm just a civil engineer, so,
You're just a civil engineer. Do you have any knowledge of that?
no.
Bingo or civil engineer?
All right, all of our regulations are up to date, that's gonna be on there. Main highway, so I'm sure that it is. Ingress, egress. Like up the public hearing. The 230034, I think I just did that. Anyone speaking in favor of an opposition to this besides the civil engineer? Seeing none, public hearing closed.
Now, this was I think we characterized this as a convenience store the other day.
Correct, gas station.
Move to adopt, even though it hurts my heart to kill the green light.
We have a reluctant motion. I'll second. No, but Green Lantern's been there since I was a kid, and they boil some fabulous crawfish.
And it did in bar fights.
None of which included me, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, good luck going forward. That changes the class and check for that particular area. Next, Z230035, Burton Incorporated, requires a change in zoning to RG for the development of just 2 additional lots on Gramsci Park subdivision.
Yes, sir. This is just commercial property currently within the city, or was within the city of Vestavia Hills. They de-annexed a portion, and that portion that's de-annexed is what's in question today. They just request to add a couple of garden home lots to the existing Gramsci Park development. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval with a petition for a privacy fence to be installed and maintained along the western property line, and between the commercial and residential uses, in addition to the required 15-foot planted buffer in order to provide a visual screen. The front portion of the property will remain in Vestavia, and the plan is an office there, but again, that's subject to Vestavia regulations.
So,
Like open public hearing, Z230035. Again, no one chose to address the commission. Is there any?
Buddy Burton here, just to answer questions if there are any.
Are you for it or against it?
I'm for it.
All right. All right, thank you. Open public hearing this time. Z230035. Anyone speaking in favor of an opposition to it? Public hearing is closed. Commissioner Bowman, that's you. He makes the motion, they approve, we got a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? You're good. Z230036, a privacy fence shall be, and this was P&Z recommendation, that's follows on the table. Z230038, believers of the word.
Third section next.
Number 7.
Oh, yeah, Z230036, Jefferson County Golf Association, that's, Bent Road.
That's correct. This is a request to clean up the zoning you see on the map. We're gonna have a hodgepodge of zoning classification on this particular property. What this will do is we'll put the golf course in C2, which is the appropriate zone for the golf course. And the clubhouse on the property now will be in C3 zoning, which is the appropriate zoning for the clubhouse on the property. So this is just cleaning up.
Cleaning it up, what you're doing. This time, like open public hearing, Z230036. Anyone wish to address this particular issue? Yes, sir.
Mark Clark, Sean, hearing, I'm just here to answer any questions you may
You do first.
You're for it.
have. I am for it.
You are for it. All right. Seeing no one wishing to address the commission, public hearing is now closed. Item moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Now we will go to Z230038. That's the word outreach, located in Pinson. It will bring an existing church into compliance and institutional life.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Sound like an easy.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like an easy.
Yes, sir.
Like to, open the public hearing, D 230038. Anyone wish to address this issue? Seeing none, public hearing closed.
I'm gonna move to approve because it was a church, we rezoned to auto shop.
Auto shop, I remember that.
And so it's like the preacher said, we're coming back into the fold. I move for adoption.
We have a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. The last but not least, we have a floodplain development ordinance. I would like, Chris, you tell me what in effect that does without me having to read the entire ordinance.
I can introduce it, and I brought Jeff Gunner in case we have any specific questions, but really what it is, we have to have a public hearing, we update these ordinances. And these are changes that FEMA has brought to us, so under their guidance, other jurisdictions are mimicking the same changes. We have to update this just to stay in conformance with our national flood insurance program.
How much more restrictive is it than what we have now?
It was really definition changes.
Yeah, it's,
You come up here, this is Jeff Gunner, he's our floodplain manager.
There you go.
hey, it's not gonna change it that much. There's a section regarding above ground and underground storage tanks. They want us to like anchor it down a different way. There's more guidance more than anything. It's really substance. The substance is not gonna change much. It's really the definition changes are getting in line with what other communities are doing. So it's not changing much.
You know, a lot of times with a change of administration at the federal level, sometimes the FEMA, and then it's.
Well, they added some definitions just to get in line with other government agencies. So this happens about every 5 years or so.
Is it gonna really affect anybody out there already that they're gonna have to do?
Like I said, the people that want to put a storage tank in the floodplain, I've only got probably 2 of those since I've been doing this. So I don't see it changing.
Primary storage, you know what? One of the definitions that we had was, flowing water. And that carried it all the way down to ditches. Right. And that's, I'm concerned about something like that.
Yes, sir, and this does not affect that, that's for wetlands and jurisdictional streams. This right here is not affecting that, it's just the floodplain, where our floodplain is, what you can and can't do in the floodplain. That's a separate beast, so this is not that.
All right, so you can't have a storage tank in the flood.
You can, but you'll have to do some things such as anchor it down, get an engineer to certify that anchoring system. It's, because those tanks are buoyant and they can float and it can cause havoc to the downstream property.
And this is in the flood zone, it's not the flood way.
This tackles floodway is, around the creek, and then you have the floodplain, which is outside the creek.
Flood way, you can't do anything.
No, not much at all.
Get out of the way. Like open a public hearing, for the floodplain development ordinance. Is anyone speaking on that besides our people? So the hearing is now closed. Move to adopt.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That 24 resolutions, Commissioner, that we properly vetted on Tuesday in our pre-commission meeting. Is anyone that, any particular one that the commission would like to pull for such consideration?
Move items 1 through 24.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We have one item of new business, concerning the quick claim deed from the Board of Education to, Jefferson County. It would be unanimous consent for this.
Move for the adoption of a motion for, unanimous consent to consider the item.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Reported, is there any opposed? Seeing none.
I do have a question on this, President. I'll go on forward.
Okay.
So with this quick claim deed, is that where they're transferring this property from Jefferson County School System to, due to Jefferson County, that's, I
Correct.
want to be clear in what I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any plans for that building?
We do.
Okay.
Well, it's not the building will be torn down, correct?
That's correct. So this is property owned by the Board of Education. They are, getting it over to Jefferson County. We're gonna then subdivide what is the building portion, and we have plans to development services already to demo that building. And then the ball field side will be subdivided off, and the ball field will stay,
Yeah, I'm just saying, what future plans do you have for it, or is it just gonna, you'll demo it and then basically utilize it? What, if you wanna talk about it at another time, you're welcome to. I just want to know what the future plans were.
yes, ma'am, I'm unaware of once the demo happens, what that space is planned for. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, the president said he knows, is that right?
I do.
President?
I do.
Okay, and you.
And I'll be happy to share it with you from the day although what I've done, I've set aside the dollar amount from my, district fund for the demolition of this district fund. We're gonna make it a community park. There shouldn't be any buildings on it. There's a playground there and the ball fields that are there and it.
So it'll be kind of like a Jefferson County, run and manage kind of thing,
We're planning on,
partnering with the city?
with the city, we attempted to do that, and I'll explain that to you offline. But it's been a long-term lease agreement with the McCall Youth Athletic Association. We're gonna continue that. This is an area that is very stable, and we do not need any vacant buildings. Yeah, quality of life.
All right, very good.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Move the item.
Been moved second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Commissioner Knight had another engagement which he had to go to. County Attorney, you have anything?
Just let you know, guys, we had a really good status conference yesterday with Judge Proctor concerning our, criminal consent decree. We have a very good plan the judge laid out, and I think we're moving steps closer to finality in that. Give you details on that.
Mr. Mark, County Manager.
I just want to thank all the employees and staff of Jefferson County, the best county in Alabama. Looking at the amount of work they did in 2023, it's just phenomenal, and really appreciate them working together. Appreciate y'all's leadership for a good year in 2023.
We appreciate you. We're getting right in the middle of the holiday season, and you see me break out my Christmas and snowman ties. I'm getting into the spirit of things now, and we're leading from the Thanksgiving part to now to the Christmas area where we need to remain thankful for what we have and be prayerful and mindful of what we still need to do as Jefferson County Commissioner and as Jefferson County employees. We work for the citizens of Jefferson County, and it's our job to maintain and improve the quality of life of our citizens. And surely, all of these decisions that we made today, you as members of the audience can see that we're going to work on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County. With that being said,
Mr. President,
any
I have-
commissioner
Yes.
would like to speak?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to be sure, first of all, that we had one more meeting before the Christmas holidays. I agree with you, Cal. None of us can do what we do outside of our staffs and those who work in your department as well. That's every employee in the county. Can't say enough the work that you do and how you really make us shine. So we really appreciate you. What I wanted to say is congratulations to Alabama A&M. Never before in the history of the Macy's Day Parade, not only were they in the parade, they led the parade. And I made sure that I recorded it. And at the appropriate time, we'll make sure that the largest county in the state of Alabama, being that I am HBCU liaison, will properly acknowledge that. I don't think that we have a lot of bands that
come from our state. That's a rare occasion. But not only did they do really well, they had subsequent television programming in which they were mentioned because of the fact of their performance. So I want to say congratulations to Alabama A&M, not for just doing what they do at the Magic City Classic, but how they are also representing our state, representing our county, as well as their own county, in terms of the beautiful performance that they are doing. So really excited about some of the activities that's going on within our HBCUs, and we're going to look forward to bringing more information in the weeks to come. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Bowler, you want? Mr. Dodson?
Yes, wanted to make an announcement. Ramsey played for the championship today. It's on Spectrum. I think it's channel 11. I think it started at 7 o'clock. Yeah, they play tonight at 7 o'clock. Ask everyone to tune in and cheer them on. Also, Winona High School girls won a championship. I will be bringing them here later, probably in January, because they have 2 other championships they're going at. Also, then I have a young man, and he's very young. I think he might be 7, Sean. 7 or 8. And he's considered as the fastest runner in the nation.
Wow.
And of his age, yes, he comes out of Birmingham, out of Jefferson County. His grandmother actually teaches at Hemp Hill. She's a librarian there. And his father, his parents, and actually grew up here in Jefferson County. So I think that is just a treat. Once you see the young man, he looks like a bodybuilder at that age. It's just, when you see him, wait till you see him. It's just amazing that he can run that fast. So I actually had to see him myself to see that he was that fast. So I'm just thrilled with that. Also, we have in Fountain Heights Recreation Center, we have a Christmas giveaway on December the 14th from 10 to 2. The address is 1101 15th Avenue North. We're asking for the residents in the area to come out. Anyone that feel like that they will not have anything, or children will not have anything. Senior citizens is definitely for children and senior citizens to come out and participate in that program. We will also have a Christmas luncheon for our senior services. 32 of the senior centers are always invited. We have a large crowd. It will be December 13th at the Baldwin Auditorium, 10 a.m. It will start. Free parking. In the parking deck, we need volunteers. We have several special treats for the seniors. I don't want to really announce it today. I will probably tomorrow, either Monday, probably. We have some special guests that will be in town that will come to the Boutwell and talk, and I guess entertain the seniors, and they should get there around 10:30. So we're asking for everyone that can come out and volunteer. They can just volunteer an hour, just long enough to serve. So far, we have almost 2,000 seniors signed up for the luncheon. And I know during this time, a lot of seniors are by themselves, don't have families, so we are making sure we're targeting the senior citizen assisted living programs and people that are wheelchair bound. We do have an agency that will be bringing in some of the seniors that's confined to wheelchairs, so they will have access to their vans and stuff. They will bring them in for us to love on our seniors. And we meet again on the 21st, the 21st. Yes, the 21st, and I like to also, it's an anniversary for me. 44 years ago, December the 5th, I joined the military. So I just wanted everyone to know that it's a celebration for me. one of the best decisions that I made was, joining the Army. So, and I've been, I put it on Facebook and I received so many emails and inboxes from people I actually served with, had not seen in 44 years. But we are getting together now and we're going to go on a cruise for next year. So I was able to contact, about 15 of them, so that was definitely a good thing.
And it's appropriate that you said that on December 7th. It's our day which will live in infamy. It began our entry into World War II, and it was a call to arms, and we answered that call. And let's pray that we never have to do that again, but we do need to remain resolved for the freedom of our area and for our entire country and our world. The shoulders are broad and they rest on us, and let's remember what we do. Let's remember our servicemen and the sacrifices that they made and their families on December 7th, 1941. With that being said, this meeting is recessed.